Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Range podcast. We got Rick back with us today, so we're super excited about it.
Yeah, buddy.
This show is brought to you by the Firearms Training Notebook. We're going to talk about some council meetings that occurred in Massachusetts, the Commonwealth. We're going to talk about some other stuff. We're going to talk about the Democratic Party and also get an update from Rick as it comes to his trip last week. But wherever you are, thank you for making us part of your day. And as always, not always, he's traveling a lot lately. I am joined with my co-host and friend, Rick Hogg from Hogg Tactical. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Just want to thank you, the viewer listener out there, for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. Hey, got to apologize for not being as active on the show. Like Mark was saying, hey, we've been on the road doing some great stuff, really. And our Project Officer Survival, where we offer free law enforcement firearms training. Let me say that again, offer free law enforcement firearms training with the support of great companies like Aimpoint, Safari Land, Grizzly Targets, Proper, Walther. These guys are helping us educate these law enforcement officers, right, and add to their survivability. So this whole premise of being 1% better every day, man, we're doing it. We're preaching it. We also had some open enrollment stuff down there. But going back to the firearms training notebook, every single officer there received a copy of the firearms training notebook. Got tangible data in there, learn how to develop a good dry fire training plan, and again, adding their survivability. So it is just not a tool for law enforcement officers. It's also a tool for you, the law-abiding firearms owner. Go ahead, get yourself a copy, have a solid plan, make yourself 1% better every single day.
Yeah, man, it's good to have you back, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to be back, bud.
Yeah. It seems like it's been a while, but it was a worthwhile trip. I'm sure we'll get some content out of it and some other stuff. But again, everyone, this is Mark Kelley from KelleyDefense.com. We hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. Be sure to swing by ontheRangePodcast.com. Check out the past audio episodes. Also check out the swag. The swag's going like hotcakes, but it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of good stuff. I know we got some hats here. Rick's got the blackout hat. But it's been a good couple weeks for Trump, and it seems to started off with another great week after a fantastic weekend for Trump. He's doing that. He's doing all the interviews with Sean Hannity. He's everywhere. He's opened himself up to the press corps every chance he gets. Every time he's signing executive orders, he's answering questions about an array of different stuff. Also, he had a great couple of rulings, which we all know is going to come to allow some of the things that he's put into place to continue, because it merely wasn't based in fact. And I want to talk about the constitutional crisis buzzword that we keep hearing. There's a lot of stuff to talk about without necessarily talking about how great, Trump is doing. We can talk about how poorly some of the other folks who aren't happy about Trump's executive orders, how they're handling stuff. And we're going to talk about that. But the first thing I really want to get into when it comes to that topic is I want to talk about the stuff that the news has been doing. I thought, and you and I were hopeful that it was going to kind of do a little bit of a 180 and they would try to be more fair because their credibility was gone. And not only are they doubling down, they're doubling down so hard that I think in a matter of months, there's going to be a number of lawsuits just like the ones that NBC lost, just like the ones that The View lost against other news agencies as well. And Trump's he's going to have two freaking libraries here, with several $100 million being paid out.
Well, Mark, just to pause you, it's just not Trump that's winning these lawsuits.
No.
Right? You have other individuals that the news has told lies about, and these people are coming back and they're winning, right?
Yeah.
This is the thing. The news agencies of the past, and that's what I'll call them, right? Because that's what, dude, I think they're dead. It's about reporting the news, and the news is facts, not opinions. So if you're going to make some argument or some point, you better be able to back it up. And this is what they're doing, is they're basically the Dems propaganda machine, and they're paying for it. So it's only a matter of time before these companies that are already ragged as it is are bankrupt from all these different lawsuits. And it's just not Trump, right? Trump just kind of, dude, he doesn't need the money, right? He doesn't collect the money. Hey, go put it to the library, go do it, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But these other individuals that the news has basically slandered, not reporting facts, they're winning lawsuits. And you're going to see, dude, the damage is done. How many
Yeah.
people are going to come out of the woodwork and start slamming these, let's just call them dead news organizations, and finally put the final nail in the coffin with bankruptcy going, hey, dude, you owe us X amount of dollars, X amount of it's going to start rolling. So,
Yeah.
and they won't you brought up a great point. Just the facts, right? Quit putting your 2 cents in, right? Report, this is what's going on. Here's the deal. But they won't. It's like the Dems going, we're going to vote against, the Lake and Riley Act. Hey, we're going to vote against men's, participating in women's sports. Like they are so down this hardcore line, and somebody has got to pull the blinders off these cats going, hey, your party line is not working.
Yeah.
You need
And
shifting because your boat's sinking.
yeah. And even folks like Jen Psaki, when she was the press secretary, and then she had her show initially, I thought she was pretty good initially. Dude, she is destroying herself.
Yep.
And you can't say that the media is not still in bed with the Democrats. You can't say that yet, because they are repeating everything. The narrative that the Democrats are saying when they're out there having they're singing their songs, the old school, civil rights chants and stuff like that, which, hey, if I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that. If you want to go out there and you want to protest, go out there and protest. However, they're protesting not policy. They're protesting what's being done. For example, they're up there continuously bashing Doge, making fun of the young kids, college kids who are doing the work, who are brilliant, by the way. They're doing all these things, but they're not saying what they're actually looking for, because they know it's a loser. You're not going to pick the side of saying, hey, we don't want waste being checked. We don't want an audit to be done. It's absolutely ridiculous. No one in the world who ever had to balance a checkbook and live check to check for any length of time is going to be down with that. Nobody.
No.
And as a matter of fact, the swing voters that they had for a lot of these polls that are coming out now, they want these audits, even though they may not like what Trump is doing on anything else.
Yeah.
They want these audits. So you're out there complaining about getting rid of waste, abuse, and fraud.
Yeah. And it's our money, right? But here's the part the Dems, again, don't get, because let's be an honest broker, man. They're a bunch of old hags up there.
Oh, dude.
Right?
They make you and I look like teenagers.
Dude, 100%. Right? Like that whole, they just need to go away. But here's my point. You're going to badmouth anywhere from a 19 to, I think, 21, 25-year-old kid. Okay? Let's stop for a second. Shame on you, Dems. And here's why. Let's look at history.
I was just going to say that.
What young Americans have done. Okay? You look at, from the time we were a country to current day, there have been individuals that have fought, died, and bled for this country. The youth of America, for lack of better terms, right? You have individuals going to the GWAT, going to Vietnam, going to World War II, that are underage, can't even come back home and drink a beer, right? Let that sink in. And in some cases, couldn't vote, couldn't do other things, right? Let that sink in. But you want to sit there and smash the youth of America? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? So for a party that's all DEI, right? You want to pick your DEI when it fits your prerogative, but here you've got individuals that are excelling. Dude, if Elon Musk put a young individual in some position, you can't tell me it's not a DEI, right? That kid has somehow excelled where Musk is like, dude, jump in there.
We need him. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it just goes to show, man, these antiquated Democrats, they can't, their blinders are so on their eyes. They can't see past ripping off the American people. That's all they care about. How do I make myself richer and just badmouth everybody else?
I like how these older folks who are out there singing these songs and doing all this protesting and screaming about these young people. We can't let no teenager take care of. Okay. Coming from the same person who probably calls their grandson to ask them how to turn on their VHS remote, connected to their TV because they want to watch an old rerun of Matlock. That's the person that you think knows who's going to be the best person to go through these books.
Yeah.
I think they know. Dude, you could take one look at that video that we showed of that one young man who was doing all that stuff with the scrolls from Pompeii and won that contest. You can take about 5 seconds and say, this kid is going to go through that stuff in a record amount of time and know exactly where all this money's going to and how much of a fraud it is. That's what they're really afraid of.
That's at the end of the day, that's it, right? The Dems are panicking because let's think about it. USAID, prime example, right? When that boat got blown, dude, to see the amount of money that have just gone to some individuals, and I'll use the name Clinton, Obama, right? And not to them. Oh, we're going to dump it. Why do they have all these foundations, right? All these presidential foundations are just money laundering schemes. So you look at, hey, we're going to dump, I forget all the numbers, right? Millions of dollars to either Obama or the Clinton freaking foundations. Chelsea's sitting there getting her wedding paid for via this cash, right? Getting her new house. It's like, come on, guys, take the blinders off. And, the American people aren't up in arms. Come on. Some are, but you have some that are like right in line with the Dems because the Dems are telling you lies. What's the Dems playbook? Fear. Hey, granny, you're going to lose your money. Hey, special needs kid, you're not going to get educated. Right. It's all fear mongering based. So I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section. Since you're there, man, subscribe, like, do all that other good stuff to just help us boost what we're doing at On the Range podcast.
Yeah. And, another thing about that as well is those are entitlements. And Trump's already said multiple times, we're not touching entitlements. And he hasn't. He didn't last time.
No.
So there's no history of it. They're just absolutely losing their minds. And it's really crazy that they believe that most people are going to be in line with them. I don't even know if they believe that anymore. I don't. I think their reputation is so damaged. And I tell you what, CNN, I mean, MSNBC had that disastrous, the DNC chair meeting, which was absolutely a disaster. And I can't believe they even broadcast that. I bet they never make that. They never do it live again.
Yeah.
But I think it's absolute disaster, with what they did. And now CNN is right on it. That Aaron Burnett, she must have said Eric Adams took quid pro quo from Trump and all this other stuff. She must have said that 5 times on a news report I saw the other day. He is going to sue the pants off of CNN.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because shockingly, as soon as Adams went against the system, him being a Dem, going, hey, man, this thing is breaking us. We called it, man. It's like, dude, they're going to screw them. We didn't know how. We didn't know exactly what was the deal. Sure enough. Oh, election fraud, right? Yeah. What's the easiest thing to slap on a politician?
Right.
All right, you got the proof? Nope. But you make the allegations, and then next thing you know, everything's downhill. But it goes back. Dude, the Dems, the media, it's all lies. Like we look at that one interview with old comrade Kamala, right? Now the proof's starting to come out, right? The actual real tapes, the unedited version. And you're seeing, oh my God, she's got little people whispering in the back of her ears, telling her things, right? Like
it's a disaster.
Disaster.
Yeah.
But how can you, and I agree with, Trump and Vance on this one, dude, you want to do an interview live, send it live. So you can't manipulate it. Hey man, what comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. I don't need to change it, adjust it. And that put them all on check. From now on, there is no such thing as a recorded interview. It's either live or it's not. And the proof's in the pudding. So,
yeah.
But
that was horrible.
Oh,
and, at least that reporter did press her a little bit, but they couldn't leave it in there because it just totally terrible.
No. And that's the thing. So who edited the tape, right, to make her look halfway competent?
Yeah.
Who's conducting? And that's basically election fraud, right? Who's the name? Why?
Yeah.
And we were talking about this in pre-production, why are these people not being arrested? Pam Bondi doing a great job. Love what she's doing. However, let's use the state of New York. Putting a lawsuit against the state of New York, it doesn't, in my opinion, do anything. And again, I don't know all the legalities. If you guys do, jam them down in the comments below. But here's the thing. Between Letitia James, I forget old boy at the DMV, and Governor Holton, right? They are breaking federal law by harboring illegal aliens. That is a federal crime. Now, we talked about this in pre, right? Hey, words are one thing. I can say whatever I want. I got it. But her actions, their actions, are basically the proof of the crime. Why are they not being arrested for breaking federal law? Why are half these people not being arrested for breaking federal law? And it's got nothing to do with the political witch hunt, because they all, old Letitia James, her words, not mine. No one is above the law. Okay, girlfriend. If those are your words, you are breaking the law. Consequence, hey man, you're going to be arrested and put her on trial for breaking federal law when it comes to harboring illegal aliens.
Yeah. Contrary to the vote and the wishes of 77 million voters, however many it was, to vote Trump in for exactly. Yeah. He's not doing anything he didn't campaign on.
No.
So these states,
he's excelling.
Yeah. I mean, these states, these prosecutors, they get with these judges who are bought and paid for. The one guy up in New York, bought and paid for, and dictating what the federal government can do.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous to me. Now, to be fair, they all pretty much came down and they had to rule. They're like, I think the one result that came down just this past weekend, the judge actually asked, well, what are they doing? You're not telling me what they are doing. Well, we're on the road to a constitutional crisis. Well, that's not breaking the law. That's not doing any, you're not telling me what they are doing and what imminent harm is it going to cause to the state. And you're just not telling me that. It's an audit. It's an audit inside his branch of government.
Yeah.
So she threw it out. So I think that's going to continue to fall. I think that's 3 or 4 now that are just completely gone, including the one where he can go into the Treasury. And what's the other one that is not the Treasury and the U.S. aid? Those aren't actually, some of them aren't, or the Fed. I'm sorry, the Fed and the Treasury. They're not actually directly a federal entity. They're an independent entity, I believe.
The Fed, the Fed is. They are.
And so they're saying, he can take a look at it.
Yeah. I mean, so it's a weird dynamic, right? How does this private entity control things like interest rate? Right. How do we have this entity that has nothing to do with the federal government controlling what's going on with our dollars? That's the part that I get concerned. And you think about it, right? Like, we have to wake up as the American people. Constitutional crisis. I'll tell you, there's a constitutional crisis, and here it is. It's the 16th Amendment. How the hell we voted in income tax, via Congress. Congress shall have the right to collect income tax. This whole system, to me, that's my constitutional crisis. Why are they taking my money and putting it in their pockets? Yeah. Right? But nobody is addressing it. It's all the twist. It's all the twist for their piece. But we as the American people, dude, we got to start banging the drum a little harder and go, hey, man, why can't we repeal the 16th? Why can't we get our tax dollars back in our pocket? Same thing with, you get all these Dems going. Well, it was basically the Democratic Party that got the Department of Education in, right? So they can't do anything without congressional approval. Why? Right? Get it back to the states. Why does all this Fed control? And that's all Trump's trying to do. He's trying to just get control back to the states when it's legal, right? So whether it's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, California, all these other places want to be sanctuary state cities, dude, you're breaking federal law. I completely agree. At that point, you do not get a buy to go, hey, we're the Commonwealth state of whatever. No, you're breaking federal law by harboring illegals. There has to be repercussions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it cut their funding. Absolutely cut their funding.
well,
You're
cut the
not getting any
funding.
more money. We'll send it to the folks in North Carolina or in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, cut the money is one thing, right? And again, it goes back to what I said with Pam Bondi, a lawsuit. All right, Pam, let's step back. And you hate to do it, right? Are they breaking the law? Everyone's going to say yes. Just take a look at the state of New York. Yes. Is that not an arrestable offense? Are you going to set a precedence by arresting a sitting governor, attorney general? It's probably been done somewhere in the past, right? But it's got to stop. You've got to sit there, especially old Letitia James. No one's above the law. Okay. You're harboring illegals. Okay. You've said it. You're doing it. Boom.
Yeah.
You're being
These sheriffs who aren't letting them, the ICE agents into,
oh
that's
but
probably who I would go after first, just to speed up the efficiency. You don't have to do it once.
yeah,
You'd only have to do it once. And we love sheriffs. Love them.
dude. Love our law enforcement officers without a
Yep.
doubt.
Love them. But you know what, buddy?
You're breaking
You're breaking the law.
Sorry. Right?
Sorry.
Like I got it. You have some interpretation on some things.
Yep.
Right? Law enforcement officer pulls you over. Hey, man, you want to be a jerk? You're probably going to get a ticket. You want to at least be cordial to the individual? You might walk away from it. But knowing that you have illegals in there and then tipping them off that ICE is coming in, right? Because ICE is, dude, it's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
You have people that shouldn't have firearms, right? Because they're illegal. That's not, they have no constitutional rights. How do they get firearms? They're illegal right there. But letting these ICE agents be safe. And so they're talking to local law enforcement. And then these cats are tipping them off. Good God, man.
Well, here's another thing too about these sheriffs. You don't think that there's any culpability to it at all, that you let somebody out and then they go out and kill somebody?
Yeah.
You don't think
Yeah.
that's the case? I disagree.
100%.
I disagree. None of that. You should be ashamed of yourself if you let somebody out and they kill somebody. That is your fault.
Yes, it is.
100%.
And that goes back to it. The thing that a lot of people don't realize, again, sheriffs are elected individuals.
Yes.
Do they always have law enforcement background? They don't.
No.
Right? They don't have to. And then all of a sudden they're running that county's law enforcement. Guys, this is why I go, you got to take a close look at everything when you're voting. Right? Granted, he can sit there and schmooze and pruse and okay, cool. If you can't look at a guy's arrest record and he's just coming in as a politician, that to me, I'd say, hey, suspect, right?
Yeah.